Well, good to be back home in the Mile High City. Rockies opening up a 7-game homestand this evening at Coors Field, where the crowds have been enthusiastic and large of late. Rockies at 63-60. 4-game set begins tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And good evening, everybody. Glad you're along. I'm Drew Goodman. The Rockies coming off a 2-4 road swing out west. They lost 2 of 3 in San Diego and then lost 2 of 3, including a heartbreaker yesterday in Los Angeles. Suffice it to say, with 39 ball games left, this is a very big week for the Rockies. After all, they've gotten a lot done at home. They're 23-7 their last 30 home ball games. Beginning tonight, they're 7 games out with 3 teams in front of them in the National League West. Just 3 games back in the wild card, but you have the Padres, the Phils, the Braves, the Dodgers. And as I bring in my partner, George Frazier, you must win, and you must win frequently this time of year.
Well, and you got to win at home. And that's one thing where the Rockies have played extremely well at home. They've got to continue that trend, particularly against teams like Pittsburgh and Washington. I mean, I'm not trying to put a slam on either one of those ball clubs, but they're clubs, if you're going to win your division and climb, these are clubs you got to beat up on, and you've got to win these ball games. I think in this series, you look at the starters, who you're going to send out first: Ubaldo, Jimenez, followed by DeCenz, Fogg, and then Morales. You look at this, and you got 3 young kids in there that are going to go out. DeCenz has been around a while, but he's a guy that's been in the bullpen. He's not a guy that started for the last couple of years. They're going to go against Matt Morris tonight. But for tonight, you look at Ubaldo Jimenez, build off a 9 strikeout performance against the San Diego Padres in his last start. A nasty yacker in that ball game. It was something else. Started at the top of the head, went down. Had good command in of left-handers. He'll need that when he faces guys like LaRoche tonight in this lineup to be able to jam, prevent them from extending.
Yeah, let's be honest. In 6 innings, he was basically unhittable. He gave up a soft single in the first inning, and he was lights out after that. Now his chore is to back it up. The Rockies need a big performance tonight from Ubaldo Jimenez. They open up a 7-game homestand. Rockies and Pirates. Come on back to Coors Field with us. So here we go from Coors Field on a Monday night. The Rockies and Pittsburgh Pirates. Rockies swept the Pirates right after the All-Star break in Pittsburgh. The Bucks got off to a poor start after the All-Star break. They lost their first 7 games. But they've played much better baseball in August, and here is their lineup tonight. Nate McLouth will lead things off. He's been swinging the bat well, hitting 12 straight starts. Matt Cade had a big hit yesterday off the bench. Freddie Sanchez, a tough out. That's simple. Adam LaRoche, you heard George talking about him a few moments ago on the pregame show. Jason Bays put up enormous numbers at Coors Field. And then you have Jose Bautista, Ronnie Polino with power behind the plate, Jack Wilson, the veteran shortstop. And the first pitch of the ball game is in there, strike 1 from Ubaldo Jimenez.
Yeah, I noticed that last start in San Diego. I was home in Tulsa, watched the ball game, and it seemed velocity down early in counts for strikes, and then it would climb as it did there, 88, and then jump to 95.
Yeah, how about that, George? 88 to 95 on 2 pitches, and we saw the same thing in his debut from Franklin Morales. He didn't look to blow everybody away with 96, 97, which we know he can get to. He was 90 to 94.
Well, you got to pitch. I mean, guys that are 95, if it's up in the strike zone, Ubaldo found that out. If it's up in the strike zone, a lot of guys get you into the hitter's count, force the issue on.
Right at Todd Helton, and that'll be the first out. Let's take a look at Ubaldo Jimenez's numbers. He is a veteran now of 8 career starts in the big leagues, 1 coming last year at Wrigley Field.
Well, you overlook everything. Now, pounding the strike zone, that's why he had that success. I think secondary stuff we showed you in the open. The outstanding curveball and the ability to run the fastball in on left-handed hitters. He's going to have to do that in this ball game because they're going to load up with some left-handers that have power.
And he'll face a guy who the Rockies are familiar with from his days in Arizona, Matt Cade. Cade, a pinch hit 3-run double yesterday as the Pirates came all the way back and beat the Phils 8-4. Georgia, in their last 3 wins, 2 against Philadelphia and 1 against the New York Mets, breaking pitch high. They were down by 5 runs, 4 runs, and 4 runs, and came back to win.
They start to believe in themselves that they can come back and win those ball games, and part of that is, I think, when the bullpen is able to maintain the ball game of where the starter leaves. If they're down 4 or 5, you just peck away, and then have that big inning to blow people away. People don't realize how important the bullpen is when you're behind as well as when you're ahead. I mean, particularly when you have a potent offense, as the Rockies do. It's a great opportunity for that bullpen to pick up some wins.
Here's the 1-2, and that was a changeup, first we've seen tonight. Jamie Moyer was here. He'd say, hey, give me that changeup. I want to use that as my fastball.
Yeah, 82-mile-an-hour changeup, and he'd love to think that he could hit 95, 96.
On the ground, past Helton and down the right field line. And it's going to kick around in that corner. And Cade's thinking about 3 bags. And you know what? He's going to get there. It's a triple for Matt Cade. Once it gets in that corner, if you're a right fielder, you have to go as far out as you can and wait till it kicks around to you. You try and go and get it, you may miss it completely.
Well, the problem you run into when you're playing right field at Coors Field, if you're here and you make a cut to the ball here and it gets back, now it's like a rabbit in a corner. It's just going to continue to run around. Then you start to chase, and it's very easy after that for a hitter to see that. It's all out in front of it. Pitch inside at 98 miles an hour, and again, a fastball pulled that was on the inner half of the plate, but down. You see a roll down in there. Hop has to just wait for it, go over in position as he did. Nice job of doing that. Get the ball back in.
Wasn't a bad pitch, was it?
Yeah, it was down, and you know, on an 0-2 count maybe, or 1-2 count, excuse me. I think the one thing that Ubaldo brings to the table, like Morales, runner on third, 1 out, the ability to get the punch out. He has 2 different pitches he can go to get that strikeout, the hard yacker, and then also come back with a explosive fastball.
This guy's a good hitter at the plate, though, Freddie Sanchez.
Good contact guy. I mean, good situational hitter. He's not your typical 3-hole hitter in a lineup, but it seems to be working for the Pirates with him hitting there.
He had .344 last year and was a National League batting champion in addition to the 53 doubles we spoke of earlier. Got 33 doubles right now, and he's hitting .304. Talking to Jeff Manto, the hitting instructor for the Pirates, about some of their players, and he said Sanchez, he goes, he can cover away, he can cover in, he can cover up, he can cover down, he can hit pitches that are out of the strike zone. He'll take a bad swing on one pitch and you throw it again and he'll hit a laser beam. This will get the run home. Good pickup by Helton for the second out. So it's an RBI ground out by Freddie Sanchez. If Jimenez could have stabbed that, Cade would have had to stop at third base and not come home. So 1-0 Pittsburgh. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. Holiday, Spilborghs, and Hop in the outfield. Spilly getting a chance to play center today. Atkins, Tulowitzki, Matsui, and Helton, the birthday boy, in the infield. And Torrealba is behind the plate. Todd Helton today, 34. Also a birthday for Corey Sullivan. Sullivan's 28. Big swing and a miss from Adam LaRoche. LaRoche quickly behind 0-2.
Better high ball hitter than low ball hitter. And the reason most lefties like the ball down, but because of his upright stance, it's easier for him to get to a ball up in the strike zone than it is for a ball down in the strike zone.
And he turns, pulls it foul. Adam is hitting much better at home at PNC Park than he has out on the road. 307 at PNC, just 204 on the road.
Yeah, taking a look at all the weight right here on the back side of this body. When the swing comes, well, that wasn't even close. Curveball he just cut off. Got on the inner half of the plate. You hear hitting coaches say get to the load position. A lot of times as a pitch comes, you see guys rock back and lock their hands in. If you watch LaRoche, everything shifts back in his stance to start out. And then the hands and everything come forward with a slide open stance and upright stance, obviously. If you watch when that pitch comes, I see he'll distribute back here, and as the pitch comes, he's going to make one more move back.
And this is pulled into the corner as well. Now LaRoche, taking a look at it, it's going to stop at second. He doesn't run as well as Cade. So a 2-out double for Adam LaRoche, and that'll bring up Jason Bay, who's thinking of buying property here around Coors Field with a 520 average at this park.
Sounds like he already owns it.
Yeah.
With a 520 something average. Fastball center. I mean, you can just see that he saw this coming. A ball a little bit above the knee level, right about thigh level for him. Put a ball out over the plate to a guy. They time that. They have the timing and the effects that even at 95 they can turn it around, as LaRoche did. Well, you talk about a dad that was goofy. His dad, Dave LaRoche. Holy mackerel. Left-handed reliever, I'll say no more.
Jason Bay at 253. And by his standards, it's been a tough year, though he still has 18 home runs and 79 RBIs. He had a very good April and May.
What do you think the RBI's down, though, because Sanchez wasn't in the lineup? They didn't hit early. Guys weren't on. How many opportunities did he have, maybe, with a runner on third and 1 out? You know, I know runners in scoring position, his numbers might not be what, you know, they've been in the past for Bay, and you look at it, I mean, he's 287 with runners in scoring position, 5 home runs.
Yeah, it could be a factor, George.
You know, as far as RBIs being down, I mean, you look at it, still at 79. He's got a chance to get to 100.
He was tardy on that swing, 1 and 2. And Jeff Manto believes that if Bay can get to 100 without the typical number of home runs, it'll prove to Jason Bay that, you know what, I can be a very productive hitter and not have to hit the ball out of the ballpark. It just feels like his timing's been off a good portion of the year. That pitch just missed. Home plate umpires Eric Cooper tonight. Andy Fletcher at first, Mike Riley at second, Brian Knight at third. Mike Riley at second, the crew chief. Curveball, strike 3. Bay frozen. In the inning, a triple from Matt Caden, an RBI groundout from Freddie Sanchez gives the Bucks an early 1-0 lead. The play-by-play of tonight's game is also available in Espanol using the SAP function on your television. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Rockies trailing 1-0. And they'll face Matt Morris, a guy they saw earlier when he was pitching with the San Francisco Giants. They faced him many times with the St. Louis Cardinals. The 33-year-old Morris moved right before the trade deadline. And he gets the high strike call to Kaz Matsui.
That's kind of the old guy in a rotation out in San Francisco, and they had an opportunity to move him to Pittsburgh. I think for him to have success here, he's going to have to be able to get his hook over, and he can't wrap over the top of it. His curveball, slow curveball, is something he uses very effectively. He's not been very good in his last 11 starts. 0-5 with an earned run average in the mid-7s.
He has not won a ball game, George, since June the 11th when he threw a complete game victory over Toronto, but he gets a strikeout of Matsui to begin things. Let's take a look at the Rockies lineup tonight. Troy Tulowitzki back in the 2-hole. Corey Sullivan was there the last couple of days. Holiday, Helton, Atkins, and Hop. Then Spilborg's in the 7-hole. Torrealba 8, Jimenez 9. The Rockies do need the 34-year-old Helton to stay hot. 406 lifetime on his birthday. 354 for Helton over his last 12 games. Looked like he had the game-winning 2-run home run in the 8th yesterday. The Rockies bullpen could not hold it. And there's a base hit from Tulowitzki. I was listening to Tracy Ringlesby during the pregame show. You have Todd hitting in that cleanup spot. You're talking about 39 ball games left. He needs to be the Todd Helton we all know and love.
Tracy, you thought you were going to get away with that ice cream? No way, pal. You know you're not supposed to be doing that. Let's look at Morris's numbers on the season. Drew 7 and 8 overall, 465 curveball command. I think that's what he has to have to win here, and he'll pitch to the big part of the ballpark. This is a veteran guy that's won 118 games. He has 85 losses in his career. 10 games over 500 after the break. 51 and 41. 23 over before the break at 67 and 44. His career versus Colorado, 5 and 5 with an earned run average above 5.
And Holiday at the plate's 4 for 11 without a home run against Matt Morris. Tulowitzki at first. And that misses 1-1. Moore's done a pretty good job this year keeping the ball in the ballpark. Just 14 home runs in 155 innings. This is a double play ball. There's one. There's two. And the Rockies are done in their half of the first inning. They get a hit from Tulowitzki. That's all. It was a 6-pitch inning for Matt Morris. Pittsburgh 1, Rockies nothing. Inning number 2 upcoming.
Beautiful night at Coors Field, other than Pittsburgh on top 1-0 after 1 inning of play. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game. The Rockies take on the Pirates. I think it's back home again. 299 average. The winning record outstanding. Ubaldo needs to be good. The bullpen needs to be good. I think that's the key to this ball game tonight. For the bullpen to close out this game. All those keys brought to you by Burt Toyota. Sound the alert. Nobody but Burt.
Ball 1 count on Jose Bautista. That's in there for a strike. Fastball at 93. Bautista with very fast hands.
You know, I think once Ubaldo, and I mentioned a little bit of this back in the first inning. If you watch it, and I'm not, you know, Brad Penny pitched against the Rockies yesterday, but if you watch Ubaldo, or you watch Brad Penny, he'll be 88, 91, 92, but really good command. And then when somebody gets on base, everything jumps to 96, 97, 98. And I think once Ubaldo gets comfortable throwing 92, 93, 91 with command of the fastball, and then all of a sudden, if they do give up, if he does give up a base hit, that thing's a country mile. I think Toriel was going to have a play on it. Nice play. Really took his time, showed patience, walked back to it. And threw the mask away, followed it, waited on the ball to come back to him.
And George, as you well know, you know where he did a great job. He's got spikes on, and that the on-deck circle that nobody uses, the circle, you could slide very easily on that thing.
Yeah, you can.
With metal spikes on.
No question. Yeah, it's like having roller skates on when you get over there. He did a really nice job on it. And I think that's you know, again, Ubaldo knowing the ballpark, knowing the area, knowing where he was headed. Excuse me, Toriel.
1 out. Ronnie Paulino at the plate takes a strike on the outside corner. Rolando Fernandez is here. He's going to go up to Casper tomorrow, check on the Parker Fraziers of the world, and then come back for the starter Franklin Morales in a couple of days. But Rolando, who signed Ubaldo and signed so many of the Latin players, including Franklin Morales, he obviously was thrilled with what Franklin did, what Ubaldo did in his last outing, but he said these two will be good for one another because they can compete individually.
Well, that's true. I mean, you get two young kids, particularly Latin kids, going head to head on a ball club. They do compete, and Franklin's probably one of those guys that, you know, he's going to rise to the occasion. And as a young kid, and he is young, that whenever you're able to have that competitive edge, and bad play.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that's that's immaturity. As Todd went to the bag, he thought Ubaldo was just going to take it all the way there, and he made the jump, and from about a foot away, he gave him an 80-mile-an-hour heater. You know, just go ahead and take it yourself. I mean,
you can laugh because this worked
out.
And
I mean, well, here's the whole thing. You just say, you know, I got it. You take the ball and you're sprinting towards the bag, and you go, now, you know what? Here, you take it. You know, you're very lucky, extremely lucky that Paulino didn't bust it up the line. You really are. Oh boy.
The old 8-inch toss. Here you go.
Boy, that's nice. You know, it's like playing catch with like a 4-year-old, and he's got that little rubber ball. And I know all of you at home, you've done this. And you're sitting there playing catch, and he's like acting like he's going to throw it, and he walks right to you, and you go, he's not going to hurt me with this, and he drills you. And you try to catch it, you just don't catch it. Todd caught it.
Look out. Jack Wilson with a 1-1 count. I'm still laughing at it. I think some of that was Ubaldo got all the way over, and he goes, wait a second, this is Todd Helton, man. He's the first base. I got to give it to him. How's a slider? You know what? That's an 87-mile-an-hour slider.
Average fastball on the big league level, 88 miles an hour. So now you see a breaking ball at 87 with movement away from a right-handed hitter. A little unusual to see that type of velocity out of a starter on it.
Deep in the hole, comes up for Tulowitzki. Now can he make the play at first? You bet. Oh man, can that guy ever play shortstop? And it doesn't hurt to have the right arm he possesses. Another stupendous play from Tulowitzki. Tonight's Hyundai Cam replays are brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers, giving Honda and Toyota a run for their money and saving you thousands. Visit your Colorado Hyundai dealers today. Todd Helton will lead off in the bottom of the second inning. The Pirates had the only run of the ball game. Matt Queta a triple in the first, and then Freddie Sanchez an RBI groundout. Todd 9 for 26 on the road trip, including yesterday's 2-run home run. Happy birthday, Todd. You bet. 34 today. And he always celebrates well. We showed that graphic when we showed you the lineup. Todd hitting .406 on his birthday.
Gets the homemade cake.
Three balls and a strike on Helton. And that misses inside, so Todd will go to first. And the Pirates defensively look like this tonight. Jason Bay in left field. Nate McLouth is in center. Jose Batista in right field. Queta third. Jack Wilson's a very good glove at short, just 9 errors. Freddie Sanchez at second. He's played great defense. Adam LaRoche at first. And Ronnie Paulino is behind the plate. Here's Garrett Atkins. Atkins hit .292 with a home run on the road trip. Garrett getting hot at the right time of year. 2-0. In April he hit .260. Struggled in May, hit .188 with just 1 home run and 7 RBIs. But listen to this: June .305, 8 home runs. July .302, 4 home runs. August .377 batting average, and he's already driven in 22.
A lot of room to run over there, but a long ways to run to get to that baseball.
Pirates have the poorest record in the National League, but they've won 7 of their last 11, and they've scored more runs than anybody in the month of August. National League, American League. And this ball is lined toward Jason Bay, and there have been a lot of atom balls of late for Garrett Atkins. I can think of 3 off the top of my head in Los Angeles alone, and then tonight here in the second inning. Can't hit it any better than that.
No, you can't, and I think that's where you get the evening out part of the game. When you do hit those line drives, at some point they're going to start hooking away from a guy. They're going to get in the gap or get in the seats.
Well, I know you as a pitcher would have taken credit for that. Well, I knew where my left fielder was.
No, I would have said he smoked it. I just told you he crushed that ball. Yeah, and I got lucky because he hit it right at somebody. You know, I think that's the hardest thing for people to understand. The greatest players in the game fail 70% of the time. Think about that. I mean, you know, they're going out every 10 times and they're going back to the dugout 7 of those 10. And those are the best. How about the guy that hits .250?
Yeah. Good point. Brad Hopp with 1 out. Helton at first. Hopp had 4 hits and a walk in that forever affair Saturday night. George, did you stay up with us in Tulsa? Let me think. When it finished, it was after 3 in the morning.
I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't in Tulsa. I was in Casper, Wyoming, and the answer is no. I went to sleep in the 11th inning.
Shame on you.
Yeah, so I got up the next morning, and guess what? I turned it on. I didn't miss anything. It was in the 12th inning. It was the 12th inning, and I just watched it.
That's strike 3 on Brad Hopp. So Brad goes down on that curveball. And they're 2 outs, and Spilborghs will come up. 2 strikeouts for Matt Morris. Spilborghs got the rally going shortly after George woke up. 14th inning double.
That was the next morning.
Right.
On the replay, it was hilarious because I went to sleep in the 11th. So the next morning I get up. I'm in the Holiday Inn in Casper, and Parker came and stayed with me. So I turn on the TV and I turn it on to Fox, and it's the 12th inning. I go, there's no way, because I know I went to sleep. It's just like, okay,
real long inning.
What happened here?
Billboards up the middle, and Freddie Sanchez can't grab it. Elton to second.
Can't say enough about what Spielberg has done. Very good curveball right off the shoe tops and line, just out of the reach of Freddie Sanchez. Held that thoughts a little bit, just see if he's going to back up on this thing and maybe try to go to second base, but just barely missed by Freddie Sanchez. The velocity of the ball carried it right past him.
Torrealba had a tough road trip offensively. Did a very good job handling the young pitchers, Jimenez and Morales. 2 for 19 on the trip. But overall hitting .312 his last 47 games. He's put together the best season of his career.
Well, he just assumed that role. You know, I'm the #1 guy. And when other catchers fail, that always that backup guy waits for that opportunity, and then the opportunity presented itself about middle of May, and he just ran with it.
And this ball, a line shot, kicked around, and they're going to get the force at second. It was hit hard, and Wilson tried to glove it in the air. Trapped it, but he got the force at second on Spielberg. So the Rockies hit the ball hard in that inning against Morris, but still can't crack the scoreboard. 1-0 Pirates. Coors Field, the spot tonight. The Rockies playing 4 against the Pirates, and the Washington Nationals come in. Pittsburgh has a 1-0 lead. Ubaldo Jimenez matched up with Matt Morris, and the first hitter this inning will be Matt Morris. Now let's quickly check in downstairs with Mark Stout. Mark.
Hey, Drew, pitcher against pitcher. Let's talk about a pitcher the Rockies signed today to a minor league deal. A name familiar to many baseball fans. Mark Redmond, 64-80 in his career. He was with the Braves at the start of this year because Mike Hampton blew out his elbow again. And in 6 games, 5 starts, he was 0-4 as that's fouled off with an ERA over 11. The Braves release him. He was given a shot by the Rangers. They released him. The Blue Jays released him. And the Rockies, with their pitching issues, giving him a shot. And he is signed to a minor league deal. Last year, he was an all-star for the American League roster with the Royals. He won 11 games with Kansas City last year, a team that won 62 total. Nice curveball. Morris goes down. So the Rockies are giving him a deal, minor league contract. And I talked to some of the Pirates broadcasters. He was with this Pirates team in 2005. And they said he's a knowledgeable pro, can exploit some aggressive hitting teams with his location. And just in case the Rockies need him, he's down in the minor leagues. Back to you, Drew.
It also speaks, thanks Mark, to what is available and really what's not available. Anybody who has decent pitching that you say, boy, really love to have him, they're not available. That's why you have to, you know, pick your way through and hope that a guy like Elmer Descends can throw out a few good starts, or Mark Redmond has something left.
All due respect, they're available. Just depends on what you want to give them.
That too. Well, you're going to you're going to way overpay. It's, it's like George. I'll give you an example. Jose Contreras' name has been kicked about constantly, and I even heard on some talk shows and that sort of thing. The Rockies need to go out and do whatever they can to get Jose Contreras. Has anybody looked at what Jose Contreras has done this year?
Well, look, go back.
He's got an ERA over 6.
Go back to the All-Star break last year and bring it to now.
Why did such a rush to go get him?
What you're talking about? Oh, a guy that they think change of scenery might work. That did when he went to Chicago for the first couple of years, and quite honestly, he's the best hard thrower that's available.
Yeah, fine.
I mean, Mark Redmond's a changeup artist, folks. I mean, I just tell you, that's what he is. That's how he gets people out. So off the changeup, and he did that in college at Oklahoma when he was the #1 draft pick. And you know, you never know. You may need to get a starter up here again. If you do in September, you get him up and he's got experience and see what he can do for you.
2 outs, nobody on. Matt Cada, who grounded a triple down the right field line and scored the only run of this ball game, is up. But my point being, George, I'd rather give the baseball, and I applaud the Rockies for doing this. Jimenez is very close. Bring him up. Morales obviously very close. Bring him up, rather than give up somebody you really believe will be an impact player in the big leagues in a year or two, for some guy that you're crossing your fingers can help you in the final couple of months, and you really, based on what he's done this year, there's a lot of prayer involved and not a lot of substance.
What you're doing is you really have to trust your people that have seen him more than one start, not just read the numbers, but watched him pitch. And you have to trust the opinion of what they bring back to you and tell you, could he help? Can he fit in? Will he be a good fit for this locker room? And then when the answers come back, if he is, then okay, now it's up to you to make that decision. Is it a guy you want to give up the stuff to go get to win right now? Or do you stay the course and as close as you are now and see how this thing plays out?
That fastball at 98 after an 84-mile-an-hour changeup. It remains a ball and 2 strikes on Matt Cada. More bad deals are made out of desperation this time of year.
Well, you got to have the bankroll, and when I say that, it's kind of like the Yankees. I mean, you got to have the money to be able to eat it if it doesn't work out, not worry about it.
Yeah, the Yankees didn't make many moves, and one of the, people would ask for like a Philip Hughes. Would you give up Philip Hughes, one of the best pitching prospects in the game, if you're the Yankees?
No.
No, you don't do that.
And Chamberlain's another guy that's come up and just been phenomenal out of their bullpen. He's another guy. You're not going to give him up either.
And so they've gone the other way. Said, all right, we're going to give the baseball to Philip Hughes, and hopefully he can win some games for us down the stretch. Curveball, and it's popped up. Matsui, this is a tough chance for Kaz, and he makes the play over the shoulder. That's one of those places where you really feel just how large a ballpark, and particularly the outfield, is at Coors Field. And the first pitch of the inning, ball 1 to Ubaldo Jimenez. Jimenez, then Matsui and Tulowitzki. Rockies hitting bottom of the 3rd, trailing 1-0. Rockies have won 23 of their last 30 here at Coors Field, and they need a very good week. 3 games over 500, 3 down in the wild card, 7 back to Arizona. Padres and Dodgers have tough assignments, George, this week. They have to go east. They have to play the Mets and Phillies, respectively.
Well, that's not going to be easy, obviously. And when you go into the 2 teams battling inside of their division to go to their ballpark, plus the travel all the way over.
How about this 4-pitch walk to the opposing pitcher? The Rockies will take it. Ubaldo to first. The Chevy model year end event is here, and it's open 24/7. Just click and go to ColoradoChevyDealers.com, then visit your Colorado Chevy dealer. But you better act fast before the Chevy you want is gone.
By the way, Redmond started in Tulsa tonight. Went 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. They're all earned, 7 strikeouts, a couple of walks, gave up 2 home runs in his first start with Tulsa. He should head on to Colorado Springs later this week.
Kaz Matsui. Kaz has a spin foul. I got to tell a quick story. Jeff Manto is the hitting coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Jeff, there he is, goes by the nickname Mickey. Mickey, not Mantle, but Mano, because he hit like 14 home runs in his first 6 weeks in the big leagues. Started calling him Mickey. Anyhow, Jeff Houston and Jeff Mano were teammates with the Baltimore Orioles, and they were in a platoon at 3rd base. And this was when Cal Ripken was getting close to breaking Lou Gehrig's mark. This is fouled off. And Jeff Houston, our Jeff, would play against the right-handed starter, and the left-handed starting pitchers, their Jeff Manto, would start. So they're trying to calculate who the Angels going to throw in that game, 21-31, when Cal moved past Lou Gehrig. This ball, a comebacker, and the throw to first not in time. Cal's runs too well. So Ubaldo retired on the force out, 1 out, and Matsui at first. To finish the story, at the time the Angels had 4 left-handers. They had Jim Abbott, they had trying to think who else they had. Mark Langston. They had Chuck Finley back then, 3 of the top 4. So it was really favoring Manto that he was going to play. Plus, the Angels wanted to throw a good pitcher that day. They wanted to make things look good on national television. Well, lo and behold, it comes out that they throw the one right-hander they have in the starting rotation. And Huey comes to the clubhouse that day and said, "Yes, go look at the lineup card, Jeff. I'm in, you're not." Na 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 na. Tulowitzki ripped the single to left. Kaz has been caught only twice this year, 26 of 28. Check this out. Since coming to the Mets from Japan, 56 of 63. So his career success rate is 89%.
And you know what? I think he can steal more bases. I really do. He gets third. A lot of times it's second. I think he can steal third in situations because of his jump speed. I think there's some things he could do there.
Interesting defensive alignment. Right now, Freddie Sanchez is playing virtually up the middle. I mean, right behind the bag at second base, pretty close to, with Tulowitzki. 3-0 count on Troy. And Troy will go the other direction.
Well, obviously their advanced scout feels that if you pitch him a certain way, he's going to pull the ball every time. That he's not going to go to the opposite field. But as a hitter, if you have any kind of back control at all, you ought to be able to read it. Just take it to the right side.
There goes Matsui. It's a strike. The throw is low, and another stolen base for Matsui. So the Rockies have the tying run in scoring position.
Let's take a gamble. Why not? A little high leg kick. Looked like it's a curveball down in the dirt. The throw from Paulino on a little bit off, but a short too. Good pick by Sanchez at second base. As you look on the Hyundai camera as he starts to take the foot to that outfield side, trying to extend away from him, bend the back away, try to get as far away as he can from him. Close play. A good pick by Sanchez and an applied tag.
Very close play. Kaz's 27th steal. And Tulowitzki bounces it to Jack Wilson.
Veteran guy on the mound, pitched to the defense. And that's exactly what he did. Off-speed sinkers in and off-speed pitches. And then you're going to typically pull those pitches to the left side. So the defense plays, you pitch to it, and you get the results. Typically, they're going to be pretty good. They were that time.
Holiday grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Chance to drive in Matsui. Pitch is outside. Matt has hit in 9 straight ball games and 19 of 20. He's hit 323 during his 9-game hitting streak, so his average actually has gone from 340 to 335. Usually have a 9-game hitting streak, your average goes up, but when you have the bar set so high, it doesn't always work that way.
Well, those 1-for-4s don't help you. The 1-for-3s don't help you when you're at 340.
Two O's in there, 2-1. Matt having a huge year at Coors Field, 378 average. And 15 of his 21 home runs have come right here. Those folks out in the left field seats look hungry for a baseball. And this is to Jack Wilson again. Now the Rockies got a runner in a scoring position, couldn't cash him in. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Taco Bell game reset in the first inning. Freddie Sanchez with an RBI ground out after a Matt Cada triple. Gave the Pirates a 1-0 lead. Overall, Ubaldo Jimenez has pitched well. So has Matt Morris. throws Jason Bay there, and Morris got a strikeout at Kaz Matsui, and on another good curveball, the out pitch of Morris, he got Brad Hop. And a slider on the outside corner for a strike to Freddie Sanchez. Sanchez out of the 3-hole, then LaRoche and Bay. And there's Freddie Sanchez doing his thing.
Yeah, it's such a quiet delivery at the plate. When you watch him, it's a little bit of a wide stance, the hands, and I mean, he cocks the bat, but when everything gets quiet, particularly his head. Tracks the baseball out of Oklahoma City University. You didn't know that, did you, Drew?
Actually, I have it written down here. I was going to ask you if you'd seen him play.
Good baseball skills. See, I mean, just so quiet, and the bat's in a great position just to take off on the baseball.
And LaRoche fouls it off. Freddie Sanchez started to go. Freddie's not a big base stealer. In fact, he doesn't have a stolen base all year. Sanchez, with that hit, now is hitting 16 straight against the Rockies. And LaRoche fouls this off.
You know, I want to show this early. You look at guys around the league and you try to look for similarities. Well, watch this. I mean, with LaRoche and Hop, big open stance, upright, obviously. But watch when they get into this swing position and leg drive. I mean, is that it? Look at this. Is it not just a back legs locked in? You look at the bat, and you look at this back leg, everything's locked in on the swing.
Very similar.
Yeah. I mean, look at the front leg, roll over, follow through, everything. I mean, it's like watching the same guy, other than the upright, more open stance to start by LaRoche than what Hop has a little more squat in his stance.
Somewhat similar numbers. Brad has better batting average, 3 more home runs, a few more RBIs, but pretty similar numbers. One, 2 on LaRoche. And Sanchez draws a throw. Left field, Holiday. Here's our Affleck trivia question tonight. Todd Helton has 9 straight 300+ seasons. Who is the only player with a longer current streak? That's a very good question.
See, names are flying right now. Jeter hadn't hit 300 every year, has he? Ichiro.
Ichiro has been here
7
9 years, though.
6 years.
Well, Ichiro certainly has always hit over 300.
I'm trying to think of some others.
Wow.
The chin music, that never hurt anybody.
Yeah, Jason Bay got that his first time.
And then, we said player, not players, right?
No, player. That's why when Tony Gwynn played, it was easy. It's Tony Gwynn, right? Anything having to do with 300. You must be forgetting somebody on. You know what? You know who I'm going to say? Vladimir Guerrero.
Guerrero? Maybe.
I don't remember him ever hitting below 300.
Guess. Good guess.
You always think of the power numbers. You don't think of the batting average, but Guerrero always hits for average. I don't know if that's right. One, and Jason Bay hits it to shallow center, but Spilborg's a good jump. 2 outs. That'll bring up Jose Bautista, hitting .260 with 10 home runs. 26-year-old from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Pittsburgh's minor league player of the year a couple of years ago. Versatile guy, could play third, play the outfield. Two strikeouts tonight for Jimenez. 9 in 6 innings in San Diego. Good curveball.
Yeah, get command of that thing, though. That'll increase in a hurry. Hitting the count 0-1. Hey, baseball fans, want to know how you can change a kid's life? Become a sports buddy. Learn more at denversportsbuddies.com. Freeway Ford proudly supports Sports Buddy. Check out the great car deals at cheaperfords.com. Freeway Ford and Denver Sports Buddies. It's game time. Another slider at 88. I didn't see him use that an awful lot in San Diego. It was more curveball and fastball. All the scouts are scurrying around behind home plate going, was that a slider? Was that a cutter? What was that? They had not seen it from Ubaldo.
He's a 4-pitch pitcher.
51 and 34 in his minor league career, 8 and 5 so far this year. It was time for the opportunity for Ubaldo to get here to see if he can do it. 17 games over 500 at the minor league level.
0-2, he went around. So the third strikeout for Ubaldo Jimenez, safely through the 4th inning. Pirates have the only run, however. 1-0. Helton, Atkins, and Hop next inning. Affleck trivia question. Helton has had 9 straight years of hitting .300. Who's the only player with a longer current streak?
So Dougie did tell you, didn't he?
He didn't tell me, but you got to give me
Dougie,
an attaboy.
Dougie, did you tell him? Dougie?
He did not tell me.
Did Sue Lom send it up on the sheet?
That was my best one of the year. I got that one right. Vladimir Guerrero 10. Ichiro, George, your pick 6 straight. The all-time mark, as Helton drives one foul.
I'm trying to think of all-time mark, 300 straight seasons.
Let me see if you come up with Ty Cobb. How many?
18.
23.
I knew it'd be something ridiculous. Yeah, but they only played 30 games a year then. They didn't expand the league.
Well, they played 154 back then, right?
Yeah, they played 154. Still a lot of baseball games to hit 300 or more. I still think Ichiro, as long as he plays, he'll be above 300. Albert Pujols will be also.
And Todd pops it up, short right field. Sanchez going out.
Looking for help.
Yeah, he's got it from Bautista. No, he dropped the ball. And Helton to second. Here comes Jim Tracy. First base umpire Andy Fletcher indicating the safe call. LaRoche and Sanchez arguing that it was when he was pulling it out of the glove that the ball dropped. When you're making the transition, if the ball drops out of your hand, they'll award you the catch.
Bautista's 11th there. Now that's obviously not all in right field, left field.
Mostly at third base.
Yeah, so now you're going to watch this conversation continue on. You say, did he have it in the glove when he caught it, and you signaled, and then as it popped out of the glove, or what happened with it?
You can tell when a manager argues and he doesn't want to get thrown out. Jim Tracy is a great guy. He was not overly animated. Watch again.
Yeah, see if he catches this baseball, see if he's got a legitimate argument. He's got a legitimate argument, folks.
Yeah, he had it.
He had it the whole way. That is a caught ball, and as the ball comes down, you see his hand underneath it. See, now watch right here on the Hyundai cam. Got it, roll the glove over, going to catch the baseball, make a soft toss in, and dropped it.
That's an out.
It's an out.
See if the Rockies
take advantage of it.
The Rockies got to take advantage. Nobody out, runner at second. Now the Rockies thought they had a double the other night, George. I don't know if you were up to see this one when Matt Holliday hit one off the top of the wall. He wasn't off the wall at that point. Great effort by Matt Kemp, who batted it 3 times, but it looked like it touched the wall on one of those occasions. Mike Everett was the closest umpire, the second base umpire. It's his call the whole way. Mike Everett, to his credit, sprinted out there to get a good look at it, indicated the safe sign. Holiday's at second with a double. The umpires get together after Grady Little comes out, and they change the call from 400 feet away.
Yeah, that's the amazing part of it. I mean, if you bust your rear end out as an umpire out into the outfield area, and obviously second base can be the guy doing it more times than not. That if you bust out and make a call, most of the time you're not going to get a whole lot of argument. It's when you stand still and don't make that strong move to the outfield. Well, Andy Fletcher blew that one. I mean, that's unfortunate for the Pirates, great for the Rockies.
Well, because there's one out. Initially, the infield was in. Now they're going halfway with Hop up there.
Well, and Helton at third base. I mean, he could hit the ball hard. You expand the range of your infielders when you're able to do that, moving back halfway, because Helton's speed is not a Kaz Matsui, so it gives you a chance on a pick ball maybe to have a play at the plate. I'm not a big fan of the infield end thing, up on tight on the grass. I'm just not. I mean, there's too many hitters today that just swing so hard and hit the ball hard that it's just, I just think it's better if you're back halfway to give you a chance and opportunity to field the baseball.
Yeah. Brad's behind 1-2. He's never hit well against Morris. 1 for 10 in his career. He's got to, easy to say from up here, he's got to get the ball in play.
Well, Morris does a good job, like a power pitcher that can add velocity to a fastball. He could decrease velocity off of his curveball. Last at 71.
He was a real power pitcher when he was the ace of the Cardinal staff. I mean, he came after you with a low to mid-90s fastball and that good hook.
Well, obviously, he pitched in a lot of innings, 1,700 innings in his career.
This is fought off to left field, and it's going to drop. So Brad Hop gets it in play, gets enough of it for an RBI single, and the Rockies take advantage of the poor call and tie this baseball game up at 1. 83rd RBI for Hop.
Jams him basically. It looked like down a little bit below the label. You can see it on the pitch coming in. He's trying to rotate a sinker and run it back to the middle of the plate to get him to take that pitch. Hop stayed on it up in the strike zone. Good high ball hitter. Fought it off for a base hit and an RBI. He has 83rd of the season.
Now Spilborghs, and Spilborghs with a base hit the other way. And Batista has it go under his glove for a moment. Now he bobbles it. Spilborghs and Hop will move up. It's been a rough inning for Jose Batista. In fairness, he shouldn't have had the first error, but maybe that's sitting in his mind, and he did not pick up that ball cleanly. And it allows everybody to move up 90 feet.
Well, it's all about clean baseball. Pittsburgh second in the National League to the Colorado Rockies defensively. So this is very unusual for this ball club to make 2 miscues like this. One was a miscue by Andy Fletcher at first. That umpire blew that first call, but on that ball, he's got to keep it in front of him and keep it in play.
Now first base open. You assume Morris will walk Torrealba. I mean, that's normally what you do, though Paulino is getting down in a crouch. Surprised by this, George?
No, not really. I mean, I think that within a 1-1 ball game in the 4th inning, they're going to take the gamble that they've had success against each other. Let him go face him, see if he can get the punch out to get the out, and then turn right around and go right after Ubaldo.
This is the reverse. You want to get a hitter motivated. This is the reverse of line drive. I was going to say it's the reverse of when you're on deck and they intentionally walk the guy in front of you. That always fires you up.
Right.
They want to pitch to me. Well, in this case, he's looking behind him going, first base is open, the pitcher's behind me. They want to pitch to me, and he hit it hard, but he hit it right at Jack Wilson right for the second out.
Yeah, the surprising thing, Morris, first time he faced Ubaldo, he walked him on 4 straight pitches, refused to throw a strike to him.
Well, Ubaldo has a hit, and this is fouled off. See if Franklin Morales, George, has been working with him the last couple of days. See how he swung the bat?
Yes.
There's Franklin. What a job in his debut. And a comebacker. So Morris works out of it, but the Rockies get an RBI hit. from Brad Hopp, and a rough inning for Jose Batista in right field. 1-1. 90 degrees at game time. Temperature in the upper 90s today. It was a hot one. XL Energy fun fact: the only person to serve as a major league manager and as an NFL head coach was Hugo Bezdek. He managed the Pirates in the late teens and coached the Cleveland Rams in 37 and 38. He also was the A-ball manager when George Frazier was breaking in with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Actually, Milwaukee.
Oh, it was Milwaukee. My bad.
Newark, New York. Wool uniforms.
Told all those stories about the good old days, George, right?
Yeah, when he, you know, it just wasn't hard to run the ball up the middle with no helmet on. There's a curveball for strike one.
That froze Ronnie Polino. Polino hit a little comebacker his first time. That's when Ubaldo ran over to Todd Helton, and then from about 6 inches away said, "Here, you take it."
Yes. Hot potato.
There's that slider at the knees.
Yeah, really, you can see locking a lot of guys up. Baseball fans, you donate your old car, truck, or SUV to Cars Helping Kids. Can change a kid's life. When you donate the vehicle, not only get a tax break, a free tow, but you also get a $1,000 voucher off the glove into the outfield. Of Garrett Atkins from Freeway Ford and Longmont Ford. For more information, go to carskids.com or cheaperfords.com.
That two-hopper got under the glove of Garrett Atkins, a base hit for Polino. Now 2-0. Wilson line drive, and they got Polino doubled up. That's a quick two.
It's all about reaction time, and this is what it's all about. A reaction on a line drive that's sinking into Garrett Atkins, able to make the play on the baseball and then flip it on over to first base and get a double play, make things pretty easy.
And now you have Matt Morris. He struck out his first time up. Morris in his Pittsburgh debut didn't win the game. Pitched pretty well. Hit a home run.
He can swing the bat a little bit. Don't think that he can. 3 RBIs on the season, a .222 average.
Second career home run. I don't know how thrilled he is, though, to be facing Jimenez. Jimenez doing a good job, George, tonight with his breaking pitches.
Well, he is. That's what I mentioned earlier. And some of the success he was going to have would be with his secondary stuff. There's the hard slider at 86 and a strikeout.
How about the snap on that thing? 4 punch outs. 1-1, middle of 5. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Chevy, made for Colorado. Visit them at coloradochevydealers.com. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? Good pitching duel right now. Ubaldo Jimenez has pitched 5 strong innings, allowed 4 hits, struck out 4. And the Rockies have struggled a bit against Matt Morris. Got a run last inning. They'll at the top of the order here. Third look at Morris. Kaz Matsui is 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd and stole a base. Rockies against the Central Division this year, 19 and 17.
You look at what they've accomplished against the East, 11-11, one game under 500 versus the National League West at 23-24. Hey, don't forget about every Sunday, get to the ballpark by 11:40, get your opportunity to get a player's autograph.
Two-two curveball, slowly hit to second. This is going to be bang bang, out at first base.
Freddie Sanchez got hold of that baseball like he was turning a double play. You'll see some very quick hands on this play by Sanchez because of it. He knows he has to. Thick grass ball is going to slow down. He's got to charge, get the ball up, and then really unload it. I'm not sure he was out.
I don't know, George. What do you think?
I think you flip a coin. I think that's what Andy did. When you die, when the umpire just not die, but when they just catch a laugh on you here. All right, now this will tell the truth. Out. You know what? If an umpire said, "All right, everybody, hold on a minute," took it out, and he goes, "Heads, you're out."
Yeah, who would he want, heads or tails? Slow breaking pitch there. And it's 0-2 on Tulowitzki.
Yeah, bang bang play like that. And we show you on the Hyundai slow motion camera of what they look at in real speed. And Andy Fletcher got that play right. This tells you how good they can be at times.
There's an 0-2 base hit up the middle from Troy Tulowitzki. So one out, one on. Matt Holliday approaching, and we check in again with Mark Stout.
Hey, Jerome, out here by the left field foul pole because that's where Jason Bay plays for the Pirates. And he and Jeff Francis, two of the more prominent Canadians in the big leagues. And I talked to Jeff today during BP. They're both from British Columbia. But Francis told me he doesn't really know Jason Bay. Didn't know him until he got to the big leagues. They're both part of the Canadian national team. And they'll get together in January in Toronto, do a little fundraising, and get ready for the World Baseball Classic coming up again in March of 2009. Now, Francis told me he did not play hockey, as a comebacker by Holliday could end the inning. And Holliday is safe. Francis told me he didn't play hockey growing up in British Columbia, but he played soccer. And I said to him, well, you've got to know the top British Columbia guy in Colorado, Joe Sakic. And he said, you know what, I have never met Joe Sakic of the Avalanche. Sakic has his fundraiser that he does annually this Friday. And I don't think Jeff Francis is going to make that because he's scheduled to pitch here at Coors Field on Friday night. But Jason Bay and Jeff Francis, two of the more prominent Canadians in the big leagues, and here at Coors Field tonight. Let's go back upstairs.
Thanks, Mark. Joe, if you're watching, and Joe's a big Rockies fan, he comes out to the ballpark. Joe, if you're watching, we invite Francis to your golf event, even though he can't make it. It'll really make his day.
Send him something autographed, like a jersey. Maybe he'll send you one back.
Yeah.
We'll do a little bartering for Francis.
Because Jeff won't, you know, Jeff won't say boo otherwise.
No.
We're gonna have to be his agents on this one.
Somebody just came out and told him, you know what, they're showing you on TV, and I'm not sure what they're talking about, and he just shakes, oh boy. Yeah.
This ball well hit to right center field, but I don't think Helton got enough of it. And it's tracked down by Batista, and that's all for the Rockies in the 5th inning. We're tied up at 1. Top of the 6th inning. Let's check in with Tim Ring back at the Chevy Sports Desk for a game update. Tim?
Hey, Drew, do you think that Mark Teixeira trade is working out for Atlanta? My goodness. Another home run today for Teixeira. He's got 9 since the deal. Atlanta all over the Reds, 14-4 the final, Drew.
Yeah, that's worked out very well. And Atlanta had a pretty good offense prior to that. Hey, good early news, at least, George, from down in Phoenix. It's 4-0 Milwaukee. See, yep, another update. 6-0 Milwaukee. Line drive toward Holliday, and the out is recorded. So McLeod out number 1 in the 6th inning. So the Brew Crew up on Arizona. 6-love, George, in the first set, as we like to say.
Well, I'm trying to think. Arizona, number 49. Who is that? Is that Batista? Who is that?
Which 49?
Number 4. Well, for Arizona. Sorry. It is Mr. Davis, the left-hander.
Doug Davis.
Doug Davis.
Matt Cada, a triple in 2 trips. Ubaldo Jimenez, George, backing up that outing he had in San Diego, where he had a 1-hit shutout through 6 innings, and tonight with 1 out in the 6th, he's allowed 1 run on 4 hits. And 2 of the hits were in the first inning. A ground ball triple down the first base line. LaRoche had a double, and here's a pop-up to right field. Then a couple of singles, Sanchez and Ronnie Polino, and Polino single, a 2-hopper that went off the glove of Garrett Atkins.
Well, what I like is using the secondary stuff an awful lot. You look at Sonic pitch count in the first inning, just 24 pitches to get through the nerves and get through the inning. 13, 14, 12, 10, and then just here 5 pitches to get 2 outs in the 6th inning so far. But I like the secondary stuff. It's been hard slider, curveball. He's even shown a few changeups, and then run the heater at 94, 95.
Here's Freddie Sanchez, and he gets jammed. Long run for Spilborghs, and he'll make the catch. 3 fly balls on 5 pitches. Well done from Ubaldo Jimenez. Rockies will try to get cooking now against Morris. Bottom of the 6th upcoming. It's Sports Ultimate Nightly Highlight Show. The FSN final score tonight. We've got extended highlights of the Yankees and Angels, Cardinals, Cubs, and the rest of the day in baseball. It's the only national show that gives you nothing but wall-to-wall highlights. The FSN final score tonight at 10:30 on FSN. Philip Hughes, George, by the way, is going for the Yankees tonight at the Big A.
And the Yankees lead it 1-0 in the 2nd. Great talent. I mean, the kid run the ball in the mid-90s. A lot like Ubaldo Jimenez. He really is. He run the ball up in the mid-90s. Good breaking ball. Good slider. Very mature and poised for a guy his age.
Here's the 2-0 to Atkins. And Morris touches the outside corner. Matt Morris, who's not won since early June, is pitching very well tonight. Esurance Inside Information, Atkins 22 RBIs in the month of August. His best in the National League. Tulowitzki's 3rd with 18. In fact, Atkins hitting .335 with 13 home runs and 61 driven in since June 13th. It's almost an RBI a game. And a good start as Atkins draws a walk. Second, George, for those who are interested in the league in August RBIs, the guy Tim Ring was just talking about, Mark Teixeira. He had 19 before the home run.
Well, that trade has definitely paid off for the Atlanta Braves to get his power. Remember, 3 home runs for 7. Now all of a sudden knocking in runs, average up.
But you know, from Texas's standpoint, that was not a giveaway. Saltalamacchia
yeah, good player.
is going to be a really good receiver. Not only a good receiver, he's a big-time offensive player.
Yeah, power hitting, switch hitting catcher.
Down. Hop hits in the 6 hole. And this is a rollover, and LaRoche drops it, and he's got to go to first. Man, Pittsburgh, as George pointed out last inning, came in with the 2nd best defense by percentage to the Rockies in the National League. You could put a 10 over them right now.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. A total of 61 errors on the season games. This is why how you manufacture a guy. First baseman boots it while pitching to the screen. Simple. Just how you draw it up if you're an offensive guy.
That's how, if you're in the field, you draw up a loss.
Oh man,
it's manufacturing a big L.
Well, Jim Tracy managed a ball club that was very good a couple of years ago defensively too, and that was the Dodgers.
1-1 on Ryan Spilborghs. That hop came right up to LaRoche. That couldn't have been an easier play.
You know, a lot of times with first basemen, I know it's crazy when you think about it. All you guys played first base. You'll know what I'm talking about. The glove on a first baseman, because of the size of it, about 14 inches. If you don't trade that thing out an awful lot, it becomes like a washcloth. I mean, it just gets real floppy on the end of the glove. You just got to keep strings tightened up. Everything else, that's what it looked like there. Just like kind of flopped under, and he tried to flip it up and lost it.
Morris with a 2-2 count. You know you're going to get the curveball here.
Well, the thing about it, he jumped his heat up. I mean, he was 83, 85, and all of a sudden, boom, 88.
Right.
3 miles an hour on a hitter,
out.
you know, can get there. And that's, well, he knows that. Veteran guy won 118 ball games.
And he gets the strikeout on Ryan Spilborghs, who normally has been lights out in that situation. So there's the second out.
By Sonic, let's take a look at these. All brought to you by Sonic. Really easy first inning. 7 pitches. And he's kept it around your normal average. You'd like to see about 15. Well, that's about what he's averaged through 6 innings. 82. He's got 2 outs here in the 6th. All of that brought to you by Sonic. See, now he gets out of the stretch.
Well, if you walk him, you're going to get a pinch hitter. So they're going to go after Torrealba. Torrealba lined to short his last time up.
Well, the Rockies have had opportunity. 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Pittsburgh 0 for 2. Remember, Torrealba hooked a liner right at shortstop a minute ago. See, a lot of times too, though, Drew, you said walk the guy, you know, you get a pinch hitter. Yeah, you get a pinch hitter, but you get Ubaldo out of the game too. But veteran guy on the mound, you trust him, you let him go at it. That ball was by him. See, when you check velocities now, you notice, see how it's jumped 3 to 5 miles an hour. Now, 7, 8 years ago, it would have jumped to 96, 97. I mean, that's how hard Morris could throw the baseball. But right now, he makes 2 good pitches to jump out 0-2. And this is where you tell Paulino, I want to snap a hook off, you block it. You got to keep this thing out in front of you, because I'm going to snap it and see if you'll chase it out of the strike zone if he chooses to go curveball. And that's kind of what that conversation's about. Paulino may have ran out there and said, you know what, you snap it, I got it. High heat.
High heat. And the Rockies waste a great opportunity. 1 out, Garrett Atkins at third, and they don't get the ball in play. Tied up at 1. Well, it's been a rough night for Pittsburgh defensively. That should have been an out. It was ruled an error, and then Batista on a base hit by Ryan Spilborghs kicked it around. And then LaRoche should have had a force at the very least at second, if not a double play chance, and he had to just run to the bag. That's not an error, but it's a missed opportunity. Then there was a wild pitch. Rockies had a runner at third, 1 out. Spilborghs and Torrealba up, and they couldn't get it in play. Morris struck both those guys out. So the Rockies have not taken advantage tonight. Morris has pitched a good game, and Ubaldo Jimenez has pitched a very good ball game. And he'll go here against Adam LaRoche, Jason Bay, and Jose Batista. It will be his last inning of work, as he is scheduled to lead off in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, the Rockies are 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. That's number 1. But number 2, how have those opportunities been created? And that's to emphasize what Morris has done. It's been an error in right field. That time it was a ground ball booted after a walk. You end up at third base on it. You know, those things have been created not by a lot of offense, but by the mistakes of their defense. So this has been a great pitcher's duel between these 2 guys. You just got to figure something out on Morris to get him out of the ball game, where he used to be a 115 to 120 pitch guy. He's more of a 100 pitch guy right now, and that's where you're going to have an opportunity after the 7th, maybe to get into their bullpen.
This ball is well hit right center field, and it's going to short hop the wall. LaRoche will have a leadoff double, his 2nd of the game.
And again, good high ball hitter. You can see that ball up away from him above the thighs, and able to drive and hook this ball into the outfield. Looked like it may have been a changeup, and it was at 84 miles an hour, trying to sink the ball a little bit away from him. Just stayed up in the zone.
Well, Jason Bay caught looking and hit a jam shot to center field.
1-1 ball game, and any other place in a lineup, you may see bunt here. You may be trying to drive to the ball to the right side, but you have RBI people up. So defensively, you align yourself that way. You know, if you're in a more bunt situation, obviously Todd's up tight, Atkins would be up tight. But because this is your RBI guy, defensively, you're going to stay back in your normal spot.
And Jimenez falls behind 2-0. Now the 2-0 count to LaRoche. He went changeup for a strike. Let's see what he does here with Bay. And he jams him, and he's going to get a pop out to Tulowitzki. It's the second time Jimenez. Think about that fastball count. That gives you an idea what kind of life that Jimenez has on his fastball. Base sitting heater.
Late
and he
life.
still beat him with it.
Yep, late life in on the hands. It looks like you can take it out of the yard, but because of the velocity and late movement.
If you have a break in your windshield, take it to Elite Auto Glass #1 for more than one reason. Jose Batista at the plate, and he gets a slider for a strike. Jimenez really has to bear down here. One out runner in scoring position, the go-ahead run.
Well, the bullpen busy for the Rockies. Just started. Ortiz is up throwing. That's to get out of the inning. We'll have to make a double switch that way if you're Clint Hurdle to try to eliminate things. You just bring him in for the 1 or 2 outs that's needed to get out of the inning.
And this is a pop fly to right field. LaRoche tags, and here comes the throw. It's going to be somewhat close, but a little bit offline. I'll tell you what a great arm Brad Hopp possesses. About 6 feet offline, and LaRoche able to move up. So 2 outs, and it'll come down to an encounter between Ronnie Paulino and Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, and here's the thing.
Paulino is 1 for 2. He bounced a single through the left side last time.
Here's the thing too, Drew. You look out on the mound and you go, I'm still seeing 93 to 96, snap on a hook, good slider. Is that stuff I'm watching on the mound better than the stuff I'm looking at in the bullpen right now? And then you want to give the kid a chance to win the ball game. And he's handled 2 very difficult guys. So yeah, leave him out there and let his stuff go win the game. Now it's also a little growing up maturity time too. Make a pitch to get out of this inning.
Well, the kid has pitched great again, and not only that, George, the bullpen for the Rockies has great numbers since the All-Star break. What happened yesterday aside, but they've been overworked the last week.
Absolutely. You just don't want to get a guy up, set him down, up and down, up and down. That's taking bullets out of the arm too.
There's
pretty good hook there
on a curveball. 1-1.
Paulino's only hit 212 with runners in scoring position too. That plays into it, what he's done against guys.
Look how he sets up, George. He wants it on the inner half. He's a big, strong guy.
Absolutely. Well, he's pulling off everything.
Yeah.
You know, and as a hitter, as a pitcher, you look for that.
Come back here. And a step and throw. That is terrific pitching by Ubaldo Jimenez. He's going to get some attaboys when he gets to the dugout. Leadoff double, and the Pirates don't score. Well done. 1-1 affair, bottom of the 7th, first of 4, Rockies and Pirates. To Mark Stout we go quickly. Mark.
Thank you, Drew. I'm here with Rob and Jim and a group of 7 guys from where, Rob?
We're from Chicago, the best city on earth.
Okay, and here they are in Denver. Why are you guys here?
We're doing a ballpark tour, 10 ballparks, 14 days, and we're all from Chicago, having a good time here in Denver.
And this is their last stop, Coors Field. And how many times have you seen the Rockies, Rob?
This is our 2nd time seeing the Rockies. Last time wasn't so great, but this time it looks like we got a winner coming. So,
all right, tell me who planned this, and when did you guys start planning your trip?
Well, I guess I was the head guy on the planning, but Rob helped out. My brother Bill helped out a little bit. Everybody kind of helped out, and we started planning about September. Started getting emails out, and then all the hard work started coming in right about spring training.
Welcome to Denver to Coors Field. Enjoy your time here. Let's get it back upstairs to Drew.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
All right, 1-1 pitch to Ian Stewart. It's a curveball for a strike. Stewart pinch hitting for Jimenez. All right, the hotel was fairly expensive. Game tickets more than a hotel. Where are they staying? Rental van, gas. They're making stuff up.
No, that's why they're driving. 14 days. There's all the stadiums
14. Oh, I got you. All right. Nice
No,
signage. This ball, a towering shot. It's foul, folks, but look where this one lands. Oh, man. I want to tell you a quick story. Ian Stewart, first round of batting practice. George, you've seen 10,000 rounds of BP. First round, even the power hitters, you know, they're getting loose, that sort of thing. In his first round, his fifth swing, he hit in the second deck in extreme right center field. It was like 450. High, 2-2. He's got very natural power.
Well, he's got upper deck power. That's what a lot of guys would be called. And when they came to the big leagues, first trip up, and you see the power, it's upper deck power.
And off the end of the bat to LaRoche. 1 out. What a job by Ubaldo Jimenez tonight, George. 1 run in 7 innings. Did not walk a batter.
Outstanding job. Mixed in a lot of pitches and worked the strike zone. Morris has done much of the same. 8 ground ball outs, 9 fly ball outs.
This season, Cardell Homes is sponsoring Home Runs for Hunger. Each time a player hits a home run, Cardell Homes will donate $100 to the food bank of the Rockies. To learn more about Home Runs for Hunger, to pledge your support, go to cardellhomes.com. Kaz Matsui is 0 for 3. And man, he swung late on that. Curveball's high. Graybo in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. LaTroy Hawkins for the Rockies.
A 2-1 count, opportunity to get on top of a fastball, maybe from Matsui, line something into one of these gaps, run for a while, get the top of the order to work for you. And it popped up. Get the seats. Nope. You're watching spring training, folks, which really kind of neat, because it's tough to sit there and hit fungos like that in spring training. So they got this thing called a bazooka, and it feeds balls into it, and they shoot them about 400 feet in the air with the high skies in Arizona and Florida. If you catch those as a catcher, you can catch anything. And they work on it very delicately.
It is remarkable how high the ball goes.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, it goes higher than any ball the guys hit around here. But that's part of the work they do. Fans voted the player of the homestand for August 20th through the 26th, Willie Taveras. Log on to ColoradoRockies.com to find out what's planned for the homestand and a chance to meet Willie T.
Willie T has got to get well. On the disabled list with a quad injury. Tulowitzki tonight, a couple of singles, 2 for 3. Troy hitting .404 in the last 2 weeks with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. Also 5 doubles. .3-0. 98 pitches in the game for Morris. Morris due up next inning. So in all likelihood, this will be all for him. Here's Graybo. This ball center field and deep. Way back and gone. Troy Tulowitzki has given the Rockies a 2-1 lead and given Ubaldo Jimenez an opportunity for the win. A monster shot to dead center field. Number 16 for the 22-year-old rookie from Long Beach State.
Now, a lot of high high-fives going on because on a 3-1 count, got a fastball center cut, stayed back, and watched the back leg drive behind this swing of Troy Tulowitzki to dead center field. The fish got fed. And the Rockies took the lead 2-1. They landed in the pond in dead center. Oh, what a pretty shot that is. Through the lights in the sky and over the wall.
That was well over the wall, George. That was, we'll find out in a few moments. That was, I'm guessing, 430 or so.
Only got to clear by an inch.
2-1 breaking pitch in there, or 2-0 breaking pitch in there. We're making 2-1 on Holiday. Yorvi Torrealba smiling next to the man of the moment, Troy Tulowitzki. Here's a base hit to right. 10-game hitting streak now for Holiday. Well, George, I shorted him 15 feet, 445.
Look at those eyes. Look at that drive. Man, oh man, was that neat on the Hyundai cam. Just see his eyes on solid contact. Look at that full rotation. Ubaldo's excited. He says, yeah, come on, bullpen. Let's get 6 outs. That's a W for me.
That also is the end of the night for Matt Morris. Boy, Morris pitched well, but Tulowitzki got him, and then Holiday knocks him out with a base hit the other way. 2-1 Colorado. Back in Denver, one pitch we missed. It was a wild pitch that sailed over the head of Todd Helton. First I thought it hit him on, oh, you know what? No, it did hit over.
Bat, didn't it? Would that hit make the ball ricochet to the right?
I don't know, George. That did take a right turn. It must have hit his glove, as they're allowing Holiday to stand at second base. Initially, when we watched, I thought it hit him in the helmet. Yeah, obviously didn't do that.
See, I thought it hit his bat draw. I bet you. Yeah, we got guys. 2 good sliders. I mean, that's always nice. The one behind your head, and then give you 2 sliders on the paint outside corner. See, the ball ricocheted, Drew. I don't think it hit his glove. I just think everybody ducked.
Todd pokes one to right. It's got to get down. Batista, who's had a rough night defensively, comes up with a diving catch to save a run. On a forgettable evening defensively for Jose Batista, he saves one there. But the Rockies take the lead on Troy Tulowitzki's 16th home run. A 445-foot shot to center. Todd Helton lines out to right field. Nice catch by Batista. I want to go back as the Rockies lead 2-1 to the pitch that moved Holiday to second. Watch this, folks. This hits his bat.
It hits the bat. See the catcher come up on it? I think he thought it ricocheted off the, obviously off of the glove, because I mean, as soon as the ball hits, it just shoots right over here.
How does Ronnie Paulino and the entire Pittsburgh dugout not argue that? I mean, it didn't hurt him because obviously the out was recorded, but it moved Holiday from first to second.
Well, it's up to LaTroy Hawkins to preserve here in the 8th inning the lead that's been handed to him and Ubaldo Jimenez. 45th ball game for him to appear in. An overall record 2-5. Their run average has dropped considerably all the way to 351. 41 innings. He has given up 4 home runs.
This was his original role, George.
Well, it was, and it's a role that really made LaTroy famous. I mean, he was outstanding. I mean, outstanding for the Minnesota Twins, and like a lot of guys that have been set up men, very successful 4 or 5 years, and then they get an opportunity to close. He did a good job doing that, and for whatever reason, the wheels fell off in Chicago, and then on over to San Francisco, just couldn't recover. Started the season rough here with the Rockies, 0-3, but has bounced back since then.
And a ground ball to Troy Tulowitzki. If you have a break in your windshield, take it to Elite Auto Glass, #1 for more than one reason. Josh Phelps will be the pinch hitter for the Pirates. Initially, Cesar Izturis was out on deck.
Well, one-run game, better bunter. Yeah, you can run him up. If you got a guy on, first guy on, you can bunt him over, get a guy in a scoring position, get to the top of your order. And with Phelps, he's got a little bit of pop in his bat. He's got 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, or excuse me, 10 RBIs, 3 home runs, and just 38 at bats. So he tried to send the home run guy up just to try to see if he could jump it.
He was with the Yankees the first 2.5 months. Hit a couple home runs with New York. Claimed off waivers in the latter part of June by the Pirates.
A lot of that scouting goes to a guy named Roy Smith that works the New York area. Pete Vukovich, special assistants to the general manager.
Roy Smith's from Mount Vernon, New York.
Yep. Kent DeColby, former reliever. Also someone that's out there and they're just watching and filing scouting reports. You rely on your guys in the area to come up with a good report on players. Area scouts will do their pro work and take a AAA club, maybe 6, 7 different teams, type up those reports after the June draft. They take care of the AA, AAA reports. You get a phone call. Is this guy worth a claim? Yeah, take him. Got good power.
Uh-oh, this ball's hit to deep left and it's gone. Phelps has just tied it up. That's why you keep a guy back on the bench late in games that has some pop. Phelps comes up, hits one out, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, this is a line shot too. Nothing Coors Field about it. I mean, this ball's fastball on the Hyundai slow motion cam, right in the sweet spot. Boy, you see his head and concentration, full tilt and swing, a lot like Tulowitzki's. This ball just got out over the fence, got there in a hurry too.
Ball 1 on Nate McLeod.
As the offense has been resilient at times through this whole year, they got to do it again.
Now you're dealing with a Pirate team, though. They're 18 games under 500. They're very confident offensively based on what they've accomplished in August. More runs than anybody in baseball in August, and the ability to come from behind the last few days. And I don't mean down just a run as they were starting this inning. Down 4 runs yesterday, down 4 runs Saturday, down 5 runs Thursday. All the good teams, Phillies and Mets.
Well, gaining confidence as they go too. That's the other side of it.
Line drive at Matsui.
And knuckling.
Yeah, it was knuckling, and he came up with it.
Well, I thought this ball was going to stay up off of the bat. You're going to get a great shot off the Romo. That thing is sitting up, Drew, about chest high, and as it got about 15 feet away from him, started to knuckle and just looked like a Tim Wakefield knuckleball. Bottom just dropped out of it. Well, recovered nicely, got the out, 2 outs. Pirates, I mean, you just don't want to get into the heart of this thing with Sanchez, LaRoche, Bay, the power. Sean Chacon is now throwing for the Pittsburgh Pirates, former Rocky. Shaq looks pretty good. They're throwing the ball well out of their bullpen this year.
Things were going really well until the month of August. He's hit some rough spots of late. On record as saying he'd like to return to the Pirates next year. 0-1 misses, 1-1.
Not the same pitcher that he was here at 95, 96. More of a 85 to 88, touch 90 occasionally. Good curveball, still has that. And a slider, change, knows how to pitch.
Changeups down low, 2-1. Rockies bullpen stung tonight. They were stung yesterday. Couldn't hold that 3-2 lead in LA, but overall since the All-Star break they have an ERA of 2.74, which is outstanding. In the inning, Josh Phelps, a pinch hit home run to tie this thing up at 2. 2-2 ball game. Troy Tulowitzki. And so often happens, it seems, with Troy when he hits a home run late in ball games. The other team comes back to tie it or take the lead. Here's his home run, our Valero high-energy play of the game. 445 feet to straightaway center field. At that time, Ubaldo Jimenez had a chance to win the ball game, but Josh Phelps a pinch hit home run to tie it up at 2.
Let's take a look at Sean Chacon, the former Rocky, had 35 saves in 04 as the closer of the Rockies. Right now, 49 games he's appeared in. This is his 50th of the season. 83 and a third inning. So you can see a lot of those ball games. He's been extended in long relief. He was a guy that was traded from the Rockies to the Yankees, gave them a huge lift in 05 when he went 7-3 with a 2.85 earned run average, covering 14 ball games, 12 starts. Started the season 5-3 for the Yankees in 06.
He was a toast in New York for a while that season.
That earned run average jumped though in 06. It went up to 7. They traded on to Pittsburgh. Here he is, and still in the Pittsburgh uniform. Very effective out of their bullpen.
And Shaq still makes his home in Greeley. In fact, he's building a new home there. This is deep in the hole. And a long throw is going to get Garrett Atkins by plenty. Good play by Jack Wilson.
You know what, Jay, I thought this ball was through the hole into the outfield. I really did. I mean, when the play was not made at third base by Cada, I said, all right, this ball's going to get out into the outfield. Backhand by Wilson on the move fly. Very strong throw right on the money. Just a very good defensive shortstop. Folks, that's very difficult to do unless you've got a tremendous arm strength and the ability to do it. Shaq excited, points out at Wilson is a nice play.
And this ball to deep left field, but Brad Hawk got under it a little bit. 2 outs. And let's go to the studio again. Tim Ring with a baseball update.
Hey, Drew, early results in from Arizona, and I have good news. Prince Fielder, number 39 for the Brewers' first baseman. Milwaukee up 6-0 here on Arizona early in the desert. Drew.
George, did you see where that ball hit?
Yeah.
That almost left the building.
He hit it where most people don't have an opportunity to buy seats. That's in the parking lot.
That hit the facade of the roof. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Spilborgh's with 2 outs and nobody on. Sean Chacon's first return to Coors Field. He's given up runs in 8 of his last 11 appearances. And this is a pop-up to right field. Batista. And Shaq works a 1-2-3-8. We'll go to the 9th inning, tied up at 2. FSN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwestairlines.com. Rockies 2, Pirates 2, top of the 9th inning. Again, we check in with Tim Ring. Tim.
Hey, Drew, I want to remind everybody to stick around after the game for the Chevy post-game report. We'll have all the clubhouse reaction from Coors Field, including Clint Hurdle's post-game press conference. Also, around Major League Baseball, we'll check on the division, and also Rick Ankiel does it again. We'll have the Cardinals and the Cubs highlights, and also we'll take a look ahead to Game 2 of this 4-game set with the Pirates. It's all coming up right after the game. Keep it here.
All right, Tim, thank you. Manny Corpus, tie ball game at home. As the thought is, in the 9th inning, you go to your closer.
Well, you want to make sure you get the hit and a chance to win a game in the bottom of the 9th, not come out here and try to end up in a situation where you run another guy out there. It's not a closer, give up 2 or 3 runs. That's not what you want. You want to maintain everything just like it is, give you the best opportunity. 11 for 11 in save opportunities since he took over as the closer. He's only had an earned run average pretty low, 1.17. Is that any good?
That's
the average
pretty
against.
good.
The average against 145.
Good hitter here in Freddie Sanchez. And Sanchez will set guys up, George. You see how he reacted there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely he will.
Slider. Oh, boy, I didn't see it at all. Jumped off the plate.
Yep.
And he wants you to throw it again.
And again. And again. And you better look out. If you're Garrett Atkins, chance it's going to get jerked right at you.
Well, they moved it outside. That or a cut fastball. That thing had a lot of movement away.
The thing about Sanchez, he covers the outside so well because it's such a long swing. You know, I mean, you watch his bat, watch the coverage of the plate that he has. Toriyama's like, let's take it all the way out here. Just set it up and put a wrinkle in it and see what you get to get the punch out. So you get ahead of him, you get guys aggressive.
You got him on the slider. Good sequence there from Manny Corpus.
Yeah, I tell you, a great sequence because the last pitch is a late diving slider on the outer part of the plate.
George, that'll bring up the son of your old teammate.
Dave LaRoche that pitched with the New York Yankees. A number of other ball clubs, managing and pitching coach, was the head coach at, for those of you in Kansas, pick the ball games up tomorrow afternoon. It's the used to be Fort Scott, Kansas Community College head coach for a long time.
The Jayhawk League.
Well, these guys were growing up. He wanted to be around the house.
LaRoche, a dangerous guy. He's got 2 doubles tonight, 18 home runs for LaRoche. He got a ball to turn on, and he hits it off the wall and right. That's going to be a long single, perhaps. They got a real good shot at him. He's out by a mile. Out by a mile. What a throw by Brad Hopp. I was already turning it into a single. I didn't think there's any way in the world LaRoche would test his arm. He didn't bother sliding.
That's when you're running into second base. You pull the old Willie Stargell timeout thing about halfway down, and you go, oops, I think I made a mistake here. Hopp, knowing the field here at Coors, knowing that the ball's going to, how it's going to react, what it'll do when it comes off. So he just waited for it to come off, and then the snap throw into second base, well ahead of LaRoche. And LaRoche tried to straddle, do what he could do to Deke, and got popped out. Well, I think he thought he had a home run when it left the bat. I really do, because it left the bat about halfway up that scoreboard. He thought it was going to leave the yard, but that guy there, Brad Hopp, knew better and made the play on it.
Jason Bay 0 for 3 tonight. And there's that hard sinking fastball, strike 1. Slider 1 and 2. Rockies in the bottom of the 9th will have Toriyama, a pinch hitter, and then the top of the order. Pinch hitters available: Jamie Carroll, Corey Sullivan, Geronimo Heel, though doubtful they go to Heel. He's the backup catcher. Here's the 1-2. That's fouled off. If you're wondering about Ian Stewart, he was used earlier in the ball game as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, and he grounded out to first. Rockies a man short on their bench right now. With the young guys in the starting rotation, all of the injuries, Elmer descends having made a start.
Well,
Hurdle's elected to have an extra pitcher down in the bullpen.
You have to, because 4/5 of your rotation typically goes 5, maybe 6 innings. You've got to carry the extra guy.
And they've needed them of late. The last 12 ball games coming into tonight, the bullpen had been utilized 47 2/3. And that's basically 4 innings a night.
Too much.
Use them when you want to, not when you have to. 2-2 on Bay. Down with a heater. So Corpus, with a little help from the golden arm of Brad Hopp, works a 1-2-3 9. 2-2, bottom of the 9th upcoming. 2-2, bottom of the 9th inning. Rockies trying to knock off the Pirates in game 1 of a 4-game set, first of 7 here at Coors Field. If you have a break in your windshield, take it to Elite Auto Glass #1 for more than one reason. West in-game box. Tulowitzki has been the hitting star. He gave the Rockies a 2-1 lead in the 7th. But Josh Phelps hit a pinch hit home run off LaTroy Hawkins to tie it in the 8th. Yorvit Toriyama 0 for 3. Grounded into a force play, line to short, and struck out. Sean Chacon remains out there.
Corey Sullivan in the on-deck circle, which you would anticipate that.
And a good slider. And Corey's been swinging the bat well. He's the only left-handed bat available also. Corey has started the last 2 ball games. Both of those at Dodger Stadium. Chance to pick up a game on Arizona if the score continues in favor of Milwaukee. It's 9-0 in the 5th inning. You got to like Milwaukee's chances. Padres and Dodgers idle. I'll always have great respect, George, for Sean Chacon. He was an all-star as a starter one year with the Rockies, and then they asked him to close games, and obviously it didn't go well, but he never shied from taking the baseball. 1 and 2. Well, he had some ugly blown saves, to be frank, and he always met the media after, and he was always a stand-up guy.
Yeah, he still had 35 saves that year.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's not like he was chopped liver and he was like 21 saves and blew 40. I mean, he still had 35 saves that year. High earned run average. I know it wasn't a lot of fun because, you know, but it wasn't fun for him either. Guy that was 9 and 2 and made the All-Star team the previous year.
And the 1-2 is popped to left. So with 1 out, Corey Sullivan will pinch hit for Corpus. Rockies have 2 runs tonight on 7 hits yesterday. They had 3 runs on 4 hits. Sullivan 7 for 21 as a pinch hitter. Good numbers. Corey hit a home run at Dodger Stadium over the weekend, his first of the year. Pirates in a stretch where they'll play 14 of their next 18 on the road. Shaq working that slider, George, more than I recall from the past.
Well, really getting up on top of it. I mean, and what it is, it just got a lot of downward tilt to it and good velocity behind it. He used to flip it up there a lot slower after the high number of games. Wouldn't be surprised he can go back to it again. Well, you watch Paulino give the signals. He went through everything but a ham sandwich, and everything was shook off. So, I mean, Shaq looking in there going, let me see what you got here.
This ball's going to tail away from Bay, but he'll get over. 2 outs.
92 miles an hour from Shaq.
So Kaz Matsui 0 for 4 tonight. Trying to get the Rockies going with 2 outs. Came in hitting .361 over his previous 16 ball games. Hitless his last 3 ball games, though. He's 0 for 13, including the 0 for 4 tonight.
Tried to take a hack, a home run hack. Well, that's Shaq knowing it. Just took sinker down and away from him. See, A lot of times what guys try to do, they'll try to run a sinker that's going to do this down and away from Kaz, because what will happen is this will run out, and this really becomes the center of the plate to him.
And that's a foul ball. They have some pretty good arms, George, in that bullpen. Damaso Marte, Matt Capps. Solomon Torres. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he got him on a hard curveball. 1, 2, 3 in the 9th. Shaq faced 6 hitters who retired them all. Bonus baseball again for the Rockies. Your Gatorade, is it in you? Seventh inning. Matt Morris, Troy Tulowitzki. Troy Tulowitzki wins with a solo home run. 2-1, but then Josh Phelps against the Troy Hawkins, pinch hitting with 1 out in the 8th, hits 1 out to tie it at 2. And I just hope as we go to extra innings we don't end up playing 5 hours and 6 minutes. Like to see the Rockies win it like in the bottom of the 10th.
Yeah, do it a little quicker than that, huh? Batista, Paulino, and Wilson, all right-handed bats. Right-handers this year against Matt Hergis have hit a .180. He's in for his 18th time, 2-0, 352 earned run average. He is not scared of the situation. Tie ball game, extra innings. Let's go after it.
He got the win in the 7-4 win in 14 innings on Saturday night. George, he never missed the glove. Geronimo Gil was behind the plate that night, and wherever Gil called for the pitch, that is where he was delivered by Matt Hergis.
You know, you talk about the ultimate professional hitter. He's kind of the ultimate professional reliever. Give it to him in the middle of the game, late in the game, long in the game, save situation, extra innings, doesn't matter.
Where's that?
Clint Hurdle's asking the same question. Brought him up on the first step of the dugout.
Yeah, 3-0 on Batista.
Well, obviously the last thing you want to do in an extra inning game, walk your leadoff man. Just create so many offensive opportunities for the Pirates.
Three and 1.
See, that's the ability he has. Back off a little bit. He normally is 89 to 92 with his fastball. Back it off a little bit. Give you the old BP fastball. A little less velocity. Create some movement. The guys will offer and swing at it. Hoping to get the fastball away here to retire Batista.
And it's line foul. Jose Batista, foul out, a strikeout, and a pop fly to right field. Second year in the big leagues for Batista. 3-2, and it's on the ground to Tulowitzki.
It's on the ground to the wrong spot.
That's right.
How about that? Hergis falls behind, comes back, gets a ball lined down the left field line, and just takes a shot at it, makes the play with it. Looks like the way he operates and works. You know, we were talking about Paulino earlier. When he comes to the plate, and what I wanted to show you, when he gets set up on this thing, he is a big, strong pull hitter. So see how this open stance is rotated out here. Watch his first move. Everything's going out. He's looking right in here. Boy, he just wants something in that middle half end Because even though he starts open, stays open, look at him pull off the baseball. You throw it away from him, you get off the end of the bat, you get a lead ground ball just like that. Nice job. Very rarely do you see a guy start open, stay open, and he swing. But he's taking that one huge hack and gamble that you're going to leave a ball in the middle half and that he's going to capitalize on it, put it in the seats.
You know, operated a little bit that way. He's a better hitter than Paulino. Was our old friend Todd Green.
Yeah, you know what? Todd crowded a little bit more, though.
Yeah.
He's right up on top of the plate.
But
He's
boy,
a dead pull hitter.
You did not want to make a mistake on the inner half against him. Jack Wilson 0 for 3 tonight. He's played pepper twice with his counterpart Tulowitzki. There's a strike. Wilson came into this ball game swinging a hot bat. 393 over 21 ball games. Subject of a lot of trade rumors, especially when they went out and picked up Cesar Izturis, who played for Jim Tracy in Los Angeles. Got him from the Cubs. When the Cubs decided to go full-time to Ryan Theriot at shortstop. Wilson's a solid offensive player and a very, very good defensive player. He's made one great play tonight on Garrett Atkins deep in the hole. 1-1 on Jack Wilson, 2 outs in the 10th. And the slider below the knees, 2-1. Rockies in the bottom half of the 10th. They'll have the thick part of the lineup. Tulowitzki, who's been the hitting star so far tonight. Matt Holliday and Todd Helton. 2 for the Rockies and 2 for the Pirates. First is 7 this week at 20th and Blake. It's back to the West Coast. Challenged him with a high fastball and he beat him. 2-2.
A lot of times you change the eye level of a hitter, you can have success. So you think down, 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 then you run it up chest high and above. That's where you get that opportunity to get the ball right by.
Wilson, the Southern California native, fouls it off. Jack was quite a soccer player. Brother Andy played professionally for a while as a baseball player. Two balls, 2 strikes. Boy, that had split movement.
Well, that's the other thing about Hurts is he can do a lot of different things with the ball. He'll throw a split occasionally. He's one of those guys that, you know, when you get a tired arm sometimes and you're not feeling 100%, okay, I'll just sink a little bit, cut a little bit, do some different things.
Thinking man's pitcher, huh?
Yeah, you like him a lot. I like him because he always has. He's not scared of any situation.
Here's the 3-2. Pounded off the plate, and it's foul. Again, this pitch fouled off. So George, you didn't make it all 14 innings the other night.
No, but I woke up and caught it the next morning. It's like I never went to sleep.
What I need to know is if Marino made it all 14 innings. Doug fell asleep after the 11th, woke up in the 14th, saw the conclusion. Good timing. Took a little nap there. Three and 2 again on Jack Wilson. 2 outs, nobody on in the 10th. Tied at 2. Line drive left field right at Matt Holliday. And the Rockies will head to the bottom of the 10th. Good work from Hergis. Troy Tulowitzki. Can he do it again? Home run in the 8th to give him the lead. There's an interesting shot.
A little spike cleaner down in the dugout before you go out on the field. Kick a little mud out.
Thought it was Huey's hair.
That's not nice.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Solomon Torres into the ballgame. 49th appearance for him. You see a save opportunity. 12 out of 18 as a closer. High earned run average. Strikes out a few people. Gives up the long ball.
Yeah, he lost that job. Went on the disabled list. In fact, his last save was May 29th. He had elbow inflammation. And it's a double switch. Cesar Izturis has come in at shortstop. Jack Wilson made the last out. And of course, if it goes 11 innings, then Izturis would be the leadoff hitter. Hopefully it doesn't go 11. Here we go, bottom of the 10th. Troy Tulowitzki, Matt Holliday, Todd Helton. Tulowitzki tonight, the home run in the 7th, but also a couple of singles, so he's 3 for 4. And the average at 290.
Well, it's middle of your lineup. This is something. I mean, this is where you go after this closer. Just get it started with a line drive and let the home runs happen.
Well,
Brian Fuentes throwing down in the Rockies bullpen. If you have to go to that next one, you don't want to.
And this is going to find a hole in center field. It was not hit hard, but Tulo has another 4-hit ball game.
You know, average 290 prior to that at bat. So they were able to pop that on up. Started the night, raised it up. Crowd excited.
4th time this year he's had a 4-hit outing.
Yeah, hard sinker inside, really pulled the hands inside the baseball to get the meat of the bat to the baseball. And his strength took the rest. Just pushed the ball back up the middle. How about some high fives here in a hurry? Maybe one of those balls middle half in to Matt Holliday.
Well, any other part of the lineup, you'd see a bunt here. You're not going to see that from Holliday.
Oh boy, 2nd time that's happened in the last 3 days. Happened in the extra inning ball game.
You know, and George, the next time up he came out with the protective shield on the lower part of the leg. He's not wearing it tonight.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't like to wear that thing in a ball game over and over. I mean, he put it on that night to reduce some swelling, but that looks like almost a shot in the same exact area. Man, that does not. It's just like drilling a hammer right into your ankle.
Tulowitzki, 4 4-hit games this year. And he had 1 last year. One of 14 players this year with 4 4-hit games. Only one who has 5 4-hit games. That's Edgar Renteria. 2-1. Rockies trying to produce the winning run here against the Pirates in the 10th. Rockies have played a boatload of extra inning games, 8-8. He's throwing in that hard sinker, George.
Well, you don't want to let a big guy to extend. You know, and if you're able to create that kind of movement late and dive under the hands, if he hits it, the worst case scenario is ground ball in between short and third, maybe a ground ball double play. But as soon as you go 4-seam, leave something up middle half in on a guy that's pulling off and as strong as Matt is, you're giving away souvenirs. You know, on a 2-2 count, you're thinking maybe slider. And again, you're saying, nope, see the circle of that index finger, ask for that sinker again. So even when the ball's up with him, it's a little bit like Cooks and Aaron Webb. So it's still going to have dive and grind on a hitter.
Did you ever notice if hitters moved off the plate a little bit in this situation?
Yeah, I mean, you do, Drew. You say, okay, I'm going to adjust, and he throws you outside corner. You don't change success. 334 is success. He's comfortable in his stance. Stay in it.
Got him, runner going, and strike him out, throw him out. And this inning turns south quickly. 2 outs, nobody on, after the leadoff base hit by Tulowitzki.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, Clint gambling a little bit, putting Tulowitzki in motion, thinking contact's going to be made. Stay out of the double play. Hard sinker. Good pick by Sanchez in the dirt, and he's able to apply the tag on Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki being thrown out now in this ballgame. 5th time he's been thrown out. Yeah, that's Jim Tracy. You know what? Not going to beat me. He's going to go down and get a lefty out of the bullpen.
2-2 in the 10th. A 2-run home run in the 8th inning yesterday. We'll face a guy that's very difficult on left-handed hitters, Damaso Marte.
Yeah, really difficult on lefties. As a matter of fact, they've only hit .093 against him. 1 hit in their last 34 bats. 42 punch-outs in 38 innings. You know, Todd Helton, birthday boy, see what you can do here.
You know, he doesn't have a hit yet, George. He's never gone a birthday without a base hit. 406 lifetime hitter on his birthday. Todd 1 for 5 against Marte. Lefties, I mean, that's a joke. .093.
Yeah, there's no right-hander right behind him. See, that's the other side of it. You bring him in to get Helton, and you got Atkins right behind him, and there's no right-hander throwing in their bullpen. So Helton able to squeeze a walk out of this thing. He's back for a strike, make it 2-1. Then you got right versus left. He's only given up 1 home run. How about that? The opposition, .194 against him overall.
3-1.
You know, that's kind of neat. That line drive into the stands, folks. I just watched it. There's an elderly woman and man sitting in their seat, just talking. 4 guys in front of them, all young guys, jump up to get it. Goes right through her hands, knocks around, and lands in the older lady's lap. And she just looks up, picks up, looks at her husband, goes, "Oh, here, look what I got." And all the guys on the front rows, 2 rows in front of her, going, "What happened?"
That's the way it should have worked out.
Yeah, got her Rockies hat on, enjoying a little baseball.
So Helton draws the walk against Marte, and here comes Atkins.
Good job by Todd Helton, too, to get that walk against the lefty that's been very difficult for any kind of contact.
Now, much better numbers for the hitter when they come up against Marte and they're right-handed. .263 average. Outfield extremely deep for Atkins. They don't want to let Helton score on a ball in the gap from first base.
Yeah, you play doubles depth. I mean, that's what you tell me. Just nothing over your head.
Marte can't find the strike zone. 6 of 7 pitches out of the zone.
And he just looked in at Paulino, and he made an angle with his arm. You know, it's out away from his body. I need to get the elbow up higher and the hand closer to the body, and then I'll be able to get what I need done. Jim Coldren's going to come out and visit with him right now about that arm angle and where it needs to be to get things done.
Now, if Atkins were to reach, George, you mentioned there's nobody warming up in the Pirate bullpen. Brad hops on deck. Brad struggles against left-handed pitching. The only right-handed hitter, well, there's 2 left. Heel, who's your backup catcher, and Jamie Carroll. I would assume that Clint would go to Carroll. And there's Jamie with the helmet on. Brad hitting beneath, right about 180. against left-handed pitching. And Marte is especially tough.
We already talked about it. I mean, lefties have hit 0 against the guy. I mean, 1 for his last 34, 093 coming in. Righties 263.
3-0, and that touches the plate, so it's 3-1. Ball 4. So that pushes Helton to second base. And Hop will be called back. Jamie Carroll will pinch hit for him.
Well, some tough decisions you got to make, but Carroll's done a nice job hitting right-handed versus left-handed pitching. Put him up there.
It also forces you, if you have to go back out there defensively, they'll put Jamie in center field, move Spilborghs to right.
Carroll 3 for 7, a home run, 4 RBIs. He's walked twice as a pinch hitter this year. A guy with a pretty good eye. Everybody at home can understand what Spilborghs has done. The Rockies 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight in this ball game.
Helton walked, he's at second. Atkins walked, he is at first. The outfield arms, Bay throws pretty well. Batista has a big arm in right. And ball 1.
Still nobody up down their bullpen. I just find it hard to believe that, you know, some guys, some nights you just don't have it. The bullpen may be tired also. I don't know that part of it. I mean, I don't know how Jim Tracy's looks and set up his bullpen tonight in preparation for this ball game, but I assure you there's more than 4 or 5 guys that could come in and pitch. They've used 3, 4 so far. It's the 4th pitcher tonight out of the bullpen.
1-1. I'm watching Helton George at second, and you know, Todd, when he first came up, he used to be a quarterback at Tennessee. I mean, he ran decently. He runs below average now, so he is doing all he can to get that secondary lead, moving toward third base. He has the benefit of 2 outs here, so once the crack of the bat happens, he's moving. And this is in the air to left center field. It will be tracked down by McLeod. So Jamie Carroll flies out. The Rockies leave 2 on, and we'll go to the 11th inning. Just can't put hits together.
No, they put hits together. Now it becomes a little tricky, even though Clint's got an extra bullpen, because, and the reason I say that, they're out of extra men basically. You're not going to put your backup catcher in a ball game pinch hitting and then have an injury or something happen in that respect. So what you're going to end up doing now, you're just going to have to let some guys go a couple innings. You're going to maybe switch in and out. Fuentes is going to come on and pitch in this inning.
And again, George, it's a tired bullpen.
Yeah, very tired bullpen right now.
Innings lately.
Jamie Carroll, right field. I haven't seen him in right field. Maybe he did over the road trip. I've seen him out there, but first time he's been in right field. I've seen him in center.
Just 4th time in the outfield period. You're right.
Yeah, good
first
athlete,
time out
knows
there
what he's doing. Guy's been around a little bit. He'll be fine.
Brian Fuentes will take over in the 11th. Cesar is Turris, and the double switch will lead it off, and then the top of the order. Pitcher spot now the 8th hole for the Pirates, and the fastball misses to his Turris. Former Dodger and Cub takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-1. They got a couple of slick fielding shortstops, don't they?
Yes, they do. I mean,
oh man,
boy,
that hit Eric Cooper.
Oh boy.
That blew up the mask, George.
Yeah, I mean, it just busted the strap. It's a Velcro strap on it. I mean, a little snap deal comes around it and straps everything on. Blew chin right off. Watch this thing. So look at that. You see everything fall straight down on it? I mean, that's like a direct shot right on the end of the chin.
Changeup. 2-2. Change up outside. That's a pitch that's been on again, off again this year. There was a real reliable pitch a year ago for Bryant, but this year he's struggled commanding it.
A lot of times because of his delivery, the release point changes at times. He'll try to get inside of that. A leadoff walk to his Turris. Guy that can run a little bit. Guy that can move the obviously create some havoc for you defensively. Well, I will assure you that there will be a bunt now.
Nate McLeod will be asked to get down the sacrifice bunt. Ball one. You know, it's easy to second guess pitch sequence, George, but is Turris not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark? One change up on 1-2, okay, but to double up on it,
tough to do. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, because of his fastball, the movement, deceptive motion.
He got the bunt down by accident.
He spun around all the way in a circle. The ball's going to hit him right in the chest.
Yeah, he was using the bat to protect his body.
Well, he got it down. I mean, it's just not real pretty how he did it, but he did kind of self-defense type thing.
He bunted with his finger too.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that part. I think he got the bat on it, but the way it was bunted, because he knows the ball's going to ride in on him. Torrey Alvarez flips it over to Kaz for the out.
Matt Cada, who gave the Pirates the lead yesterday with a 3-run pinch hit double, is up here. Swung on and missed. The great thing about Brian Fuentes, he has the ability to get strikeouts, and plenty of them. You got Cada, and then the best hitter in the Pirate lineup behind him, Freddie Sanchez. Cada a triple and scored a run in the first.
Cada 2 for 4 in his career against Fuentes. I mean, that's all those numbers created while a member of the Diamondbacks.
0-2. Since Brian's return, we haven't seen the 92, 93 mile-an-hour fastball. He's been 87, 89.
Yeah, but you know, with his arm angle deceptiveness, if he's able to get the changeup and slider over, he doesn't need the velocity.
And he hit him. 0-2. And we've seen him have problems before, George, ahead, usually with the slider hitting right-handed batters. This time he got him with a fastball.
Yeah, 0-2 trying to cut something on the inside half of the plate to get him chase it up out of the strike zone. The ball just cuts and continues to ride to the back elbow of Matt Cada. Now you get a hot hitter up, one of the hottest hitter in baseball, and you get Freddie Sanchez up. We said he could strike people out. Good time to do it right now.
Sanchez 1 for 4. He did strike out in the 9th inning against Corpus.
See that, and the other thing about it is sometimes his changeup's so nasty. I mean, so nasty. A lot of guys, when they just say, I can't hit it, I'm not going to swing at it unless I get to an 0-2, 1-2 count. I'm not going to hack at it because I know I can't hit it. It's that nasty. So I just hope it falls out of the strike zone, doesn't stay in the zone.
There's the changeup again.
Changeup. Yep, 71 miles an hour. It has its slider like a backdoor slider type movement to it. That's why it's so deceptive. When that thing's working, that thing is filthy.
Trying to get Sanchez to roll over. Force all around with 1 out. And his pickoff was there. We've seen Brian do that before, and he usually is able to catch the guy off second base, but Matsui wasn't ready for it.
No, Matsui got picked off too. See him make a couple strides there like that and then come on back to it. Started to fire. If Matsui makes first move, an indication whenever he picks. They got him.
That'd have been a freebie. How big an out would that have been? Good speed on board for the Pittsburgh Pirates with Turris and Keita. Here's the 2-1 and a base hit to left center field. That's going to get 1 run home. And here's Keita going to third. Nothing there, and the runners move up. 3-2 Pittsburgh. Runners at second and third. Freddie Sanchez, the National League's leading hitter in 06, has given the Pirates a 3-2 lead in the 11th.
A fastball that just rode back to the middle. Didn't stay down and cut on the inside. See the disappointment on Fuentes' face as the ball went into the outfield. So you're going to roll the eyes and tilt the head. Let's go to get in a position, but a line drive, speed of his Turris out at second base, a walk, a hit batsman to put him in a scoring position, and the single.
And way outside on LaRoche.
2 RBI night for Freddie Sanchez. He's got 56 on the year now.
Even more than Jason Bay and the guy at the plate, LaRoche. He's the guy you fear, Freddie Sanchez, because he gets the bat on the ball. Now you got to keep it a 1-run ball game. That's the challenge. Give your offense a legitimate chance.
Yeah, if you're able to strike out LaRoche, then you could walk Bay and try to work your way down to the less dangerous hitter.
And this could be a problem. No. The catch by Carroll and the throw to the cutoff man. Well done. Jamie's first chance in right field. Right off the bat, you were worried about that one dropping. 2 outs. And Bay coming up. If you're thinking about walking him, here comes Clint Hurdle. You have Batista behind him. Clint may go get the right-hander.
He's going to.
3-2 Pittsburgh in the 11th. Back right after this. Brian Fuentes is gone, and Jorge Julio looking to get the final out of the 11th inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Rockies. Julio in yesterday's ball game.
Well, you need a punch out now, and he has that ability to run it up 96, 97 miles an hour. 50th game for him to appear in. First fastball at 93.
Jason Bay took it. Bay is 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Runner at third is Matt Keita. He was hit by a pitch. Freddie Sanchez at second after singling, moving up on the throw from Spilborghs to third. Rockies got a great performance tonight from Ubaldo Jimenez. 7 innings. He allowed 1 run on just 5 hits. Did not walk a batter. Struck out 4. 2-1.
See, a lot of times hard throwers like Julio, you get in a situation you don't have a hard slider. He's got a hard slider. A lot of guys just come fire. You know, here's 97 hit at closers. But he's got a nice slider to go along with it. So when you don't have the other, you can take a chance of that.
Atkins safe at first. Another run has come around. Sanchez goes back to third. That'll be an error on Garrett. His 13th of the year, and the Rockies are down 2 runs. This is not the time to have pitching woes or defensive woes.
No, it really isn't. I mean, it played short hop, came in and made a short hop play on it. Flavel the ball. Now you got it. Now just make strong, hard throw over, and you got it.
Yeah, he still had him.
He had him by quite a bit. And the ball just cut away from Todd. He stretched as far as he could to try to keep it in his Gold Glove. Didn't happen.
Jose Batista
both ball clubs with 8 hits. The Pirates have made a couple errors. That happened a long time ago, all the way back in the 4th inning. The Rockies' first error of the game came right here with Atkins at 3rd.
First and 3rd. Here's the 0-1 to Batista. And a ground ball to short. So the Rockies need a rally. In the bottom of the 11th inning is Pittsburgh able to cross the plate twice. There's 11 saves last week and a 10-7 come from behind win against the Mets. He's retired 18 of the last 21 batters he has faced, and overall George, the league hitting is .216 against him.
Yeah, 11 to 13, those opportunities, 45 punch outs in 62 innings. You want a guy come in to close games who doesn't walk people. Only 12 in 62 innings pitched so far. He'll catch the bottom side of the order with Spielborg's Torrealba, and the rally caps are out. Some young Rockies fans trying to get a couple on the board and tie it, maybe even get 3 and win it.
Pitchers due up 3rd this inning, George, and the only guy left on the Rockies bench is Geronimo Gil.
Yeah, he's the one with the bat standing down in the dugout right now, so he'll be the guy they'll go to.
0-1 on Spielborg's, 2 for 4, 2 singles early in the game. And this is slowly hit to 3rd. Good pickup. And the out recorded there, Matt Cada. Bring up Torrealba. Well, the Rockies yesterday could produce only 3 runs, and tonight in 10 1/3 they have 2 runs on 8 hits. Matt Morris has a distinguished resume, but he had not won a ball game since early June. He had an ugly ERA coming in, and the Rockies didn't get it done against Matt Morris. Though they did have a 2-1 lead when he departed. The bullpen couldn't hold it. And they got length tonight out of their starter, Ubaldo Jimenez. But maybe all of the innings, George, all of the appearances starting to catch up.
Well, but you know, you think about it. Hit batsman, a walk.
That's the point. Last inning, George, 2 runs, 1 hit.
Right. That's why, I mean, that's the point. You look at everybody else. Hawkins a hit and a run. Corpus 1 inning, 1 hit. Burgess nothing across the board. I mean, you know, yeah, there's been some runs scored on him, but it's not like the ball was crushed.
The bottom line, and you learn this a little bit watching the outstanding late inning relievers for the Dodgers. When Broxton comes on, strike 3 on Torrealba. When Broxton comes on, when Saito comes on, they are consistently ahead in the count.
No question.
And again, you're pointing out 2 of the very best. But Saito came out of nowhere. I mean, he came out of Japan. But
he's pretty good over there, too.
Yeah, but he wasn't a closer, really.
No.
2 years as a closer in Japan. Other than that, he was always a middle guy.
But he was always a guy that threw strikes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you want out of your ball club. People that'll pound the strike zone with 1, maybe 2 pitches, and can sink or cut, do those kind of things to create outs and do it quickly.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's Geronimo Gil. The Rockies lose game 1 of this 4-game set to Pittsburgh 4-2 in 11 innings. They had a 2-1 lead late in regulation, and they could not close it out. Freddie Sanchez with the only hit in that 11th inning. Good enough for the game winner, and he is our Gatorade player of the game. Marte gets the win. Fuentes takes the loss. And Matt Capps picks up his 12th save as, again, Freddie Sanchez is the Gatorade player of the game. Tough one. He needed to have a big week. You wanted to start it out naturally with a win. So a lot of pressure the rest of the week on the Rockies. 4-2 the final in 11 innings. The FSN Live postgame show starts now.